We had a few conversations recently about the highest ethical standards at an organization. I wanted to bring it all in and close out this topic before we move on to other conversations. We talked about how the desired culture is created at an organization through the culture creation model, which states that you strategically pick a philosophy or a group of them, integrate them into a process, and then instill them in your people. We talked about how philosophy is the soul of culture and how core values, which is part of philosophy, become the guiding operating principle for your organization. Then we talked about how ethics, especially the highest ethical standards, become the core of all your core values. Then I gave you a model that you can utilize in order to know what constitutes the highest ethical standard. Here's why I wanted to start with ethics and focus on it for a few weeks. Let's assume that your organization has these typical core values: respect, DEI, teamwork, collaboration, innovation, continuous improvement, customer focus, and the highest ethical standards. What happens when one of those core values is clashing with ethics? Which one wins? That's why in my book I encourage leaders to include ethics or the highest ethical standards at the bottom of their core values and state it this way: above all, we act with the highest ethical standards. Philosophically, when you have the highest ethical standards, you will act with respect. You will be diverse, inclusive, and equitable. You will get out of your own selfishness and be a good teammate and a good collaborator. You will care about the future of the organization and continuously improve and innovate. You will care about your customers and serve them well. At that point, ethics becomes a fabric that is woven within all of your core values. It's not only the right thing to do, is the smart thing to do. Numerous studies shows that organizations that follow the highest ethical standards as part of their culture perform better, have better employee engagement, satisfaction, retention, better customer loyalty, better risk management, and all leading to better financial performance. According to different stats, organizations that have higher ethical standards and corporate social responsibility had 2% higher return on assets and equity, 3 to 5% better stock return, 3 to 6% higher margins, and 4% higher return on investment. And that makes so much sense, doesn't it? With the highest ethical standards as a culture, employees will feel safe. They will trust each other. They will treat each other fairly. They will challenge each other in a safe environment. There will be no backstabbing. Employees will feel like they are stewards of the shareholders' assets and a server to the customer. They will feel free to innovate and do the best they can even when nobody's watching. They will make better long-term decisions that are not centered in fear or self-advancement. It just goes on and on. Not only that, but with ethics being the highest, it will strengthen all other core values, and that will also have further multiplication effects, because we know that organizations that have a strong and favorable culture will have a much higher chance of success and therefore much better financial returns as compared to ones that don't. So you have it. Above all, act with the highest ethical standards. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time we meet, keep cultivating your culture. Cheers.